Yeah, so thank you so much for coming to my lecture. Obviously, I am really delightful to be a speaker at Digital Dragons again. So as mentioned, I am Ljubica Garic. I've been a part of the games industry for 10 years already and have spent the last 5 as a recruiter. I am a senior recruiter at 8 your go-to partner when it comes to acquiring game dev talents. So we are a 16 people team that ensures that our clients are matched with the right people for their specific needs. And when we are not sourcing or placing candidates, we are pushing for the recruitment industry to be better through our work and through our initiatives. Now, as we turn our attention to the issue that has plagued many of us, called the absence of response from recruiters, I would like to ask you something. So, excluding my 8-bit team, who here has never got any response to a job application that they sent? Can you raise hands? Okay, cool, not bad. And also, who here had an interview and heard the infamous, "We will get back to you soon," but they never heard back from them? Okay, this is getting more and more interesting. Okay, cool. So, it is really, really frequent that candidates are, left in the complete dark without any communication or any follow-up after, sending their application or even going into the interview. And, to be honest, I don't believe that we can completely eradicate this practice of ghosting, but I believe that we can take certain steps, to improve this communication and also accountability between recruiters and applicants. As in life, I believe that fruitful conversations are a solution to many problems, and in this instance, an open dialogue between talents and recruiters can actually make this practice of ghosting less frequent. So you might be wondering, what do all these recruiters do all day that keeps them so busy that they cannot even answer my one email? I know that I have asked myself that. So, a brief introduction to what a recruiter does. We really play, recruiters play really like a pivotal role in the job seeking process. They act as intermediaries between job seekers and their potential employees. They have to juggle multiple job orders from different clients. They have to communicate with a lot of hiring managers to understand their requirements. They have to strategize their search for potential candidates. This means that they have to spend a lot of time sourcing for candidates, reviewing applications, and interviewing candidates in order to find the right person for the role. On top of that, they have to be knowledgeable about the industry that they work in, obviously, and what are the current trends in hiring and recruitment as well. Also, they probably aren't thinking about you as hard as you are thinking about them. It is what it is. And last but not least, don't forget that recruiters are human too. They have busy schedules. They are juggling multiple priorities at once, and yes, they make mistakes. So just have that in mind. In today's, competitive market, sending out job applications and hearing nothing back can be very, very frustrating. And there really are numerous reasons why recruiters might not respond to your applications. So one common reason why recruiters might not respond is just the sheer volume of the application that they have received. For some job postings, tens or even hundreds of applications, may come in, making it honestly nearly impossible for the recruiter to reply to every single applicant. This It's particularly true if recruiters are responsible for multiple job openings at once, because again, like they may simply do not have the time to respond to every email that they have received. Of course, like additionally, recruiters might be occupied with other tasks that are taking priorities over just plainly responding to job applications. For example, they might be busy conducting background checks or just like interviewing other candidates. Sorry, this girl like is really okay. So again, like I think that I speak on behalf of like every recruiter when I say, okay, or maybe on behalf of many, when I say that like we really dread going on a vacation because especially if there's only just like one recruiter who is taking care of the entire process because everything will stop. And also, if some members of the team that are really crucial for the hiring, if they are also out of the office, delays will occur. Like it will be days, it will be weeks, until you actually, hear from somebody, and the sheer reason might be that they are, just like not, that they have really like limited access to email, and sometimes. Recruiters may not be actually hiring for the position that they advertise. Like they are, they simply posted the JD and are simply hoping that somebody, with superb skills would apply to that job description. So they actually are not bothering, to reply to anybody less than that. And yes. One of the reasons might be that you are unfit for the role. But let's put your technical skills aside and focus on some other reasons. So it's really important to consider that job requirements that are listed in the job posting, may not always be transparent and may not always be accurate. So even if you feel that you're highly qualified for the role and that you check all the boxes, there might be like other factors that the company is actually considering that are not explicitly stated in the job description, and that you actually have no control of. So just like to name a few. So some companies are heavily biased towards hiring candidates from certain regions. So for example, a company may prefer to hire a candidate in a certain time zone, just like to make the remote work easier, to ensure that there's as much overlap as possible. Alternatively, they may prefer to hire a candidate from a certain region because their rates are cheaper, or maybe in that region the company may receive some tax benefits. Additionally, some companies may focus on diversifying their workforce and are looking for candidates who represent different backgrounds or different identities. And also, let's not forget that a lot of companies, of course, are looking for a candidate with experience in game dev, but sometimes it might not be enough. I think that we often have like clients that are looking for somebody, so not only who has not only worked in the games industry, but has worked on a specific type of project, on a specific project size, with specific tools, and they simply are not flexible about it. Like no matter how fast of a learner you claim to be in your CV. So in conclusion, like I think that like after the chat we can all, whoever wants to like do further brainstorming on like the reasons why why somebody might not answer to your application email, you're welcome. But these are just like some of the reasons why recruiters might not respond to your job applications, and it does not always reflect your qualifications or your experience. So let's see what is actually in your hands and what you can actually do to improve your chances of getting a response. So when applying to job positions, I believe it's really important to be strategic. So, like it's crucial to choose job positions that actually align with your skills and experience. So be honest about what you bring to the table. Companies tend to avoid I would say that like companies tend to avoid like taking risks and actually prefer to hire individuals who can actually support their skills with a project or a portfolio that really like speaks to the company. And also something that I encounter a lot is that applicants may seek senior positions despite having very limited experience. So I'm not saying that it is impossible, like to get, from a junior role to a lead role, but I'm saying that it's much more, I would say, much more challenging. And also applying to every job opening at the company, hoping that this would somehow improve your chances of being seen by the recruiter is really also not wise. So rather, just like take your time to really like evaluate your job search strategies and make changes where necessary. So because actually targeting the right job positions, and the right companies that actually like fit you can actually increase your chances of being recognized by recruiters. Also, consider reading about the company, about like their projects, about their tech stack, about their values. Also, reviews from current or former employees can also provide you with a lot of like valuable insight into the company's culture, and also like use your connections. So asking around for more information about from your peers about what type of person they are actually looking for can really make a difference between you and other candidates. Also, please remember that recruiter is actually interested in finding a person for the job, not finding a job for a particular person. So yeah, your focus should be on becoming this person that they actually want to hire. So when it comes to job hunting, your CV and your portfolio are your marketing tools. They showcase what you actually can bring to the table and give potential employers like a glimpse of what you can actually do and how actually it would be like to work with you. So keeping them up to date, keeping them polished, like is really successful for a successful job search. Just now like a really quick jog down the memory lane. So yeah, I prepared like a really quick CV and portfolio cheat sheet that I want to share with you. You may have heard it, but it's always good to hear it again. So like your CV should be easy to read, easy to follow. Make sure that your previous roles are in reverse chronological order, starting from the latest one. And also like only include experiences that are actually relevant for the role. If you do have a lot of experience, please try to keep it on up to like 2 pages or 3 pages tops, and also like use bullet points to break up text and to highlight your accomplishments. Also, like take time to read this job description really carefully and, map out the keywords and incorporate those keywords into your CV. Because recruiters often, just like, scan your CV very quickly. So it's really important to catch their attention, with the relevant keywords that match the job requirements. Make sure to provide links to your portfolio, double check if they are hyperlinked correctly. If your portfolio is private, please ensure to provide the recruiters with a password to your portfolio. And also please state if you have like any other works that are under NDA, because also, yeah, that can make a difference. Before submitting your application, please do run a spelling and grammar check through multiple programs, or ask somebody to check it with you. And make sure to also, I see a lot of people failing at this, but make sure to read the application instructions carefully, and follow them to the letter. So if the company requests your CV to be in a certain format, put it in a certain format. If they ask you to paste the link to your portfolio in a certain box, please paste it in a certain box. Because this shows that you are actually reading the instructions, that you are capable of following instructions, and overall, it's a really small thing that demonstrates the skills that that you will actually need to carry out instructions on a daily basis. Also, I advise you to follow up with the recruiter ASAP. Just to put yourself on their radar. But I understand that, many people are uncomfortable with, reaching out directly to a person. So yeah, you also can, wait, maybe a week or two before you reach out, to the recruiter who is actually responsible for the job that you are applying to. So when reaching out to a recruiter, it is really essential that you remain professional. So I would, tell you, please, ping me on LinkedIn, or, ping me via my, professional email. Don't ping me on my Instagram or on my TikTok or my personal Twitter that has nothing to do with my job. Because honestly, I won't be doing that to you. So start by addressing, when you are actually, writing up that message to the recruiter, start by addressing them by their name. Mention the job that you are applying for. Mention, the source of the job posting, and also, it's good to mention why you are interested in working at a certain company. Make sure to highlight specific skills and experiences that make you a unique, a unique and valuable candidate. And also don't forget to attach your CV and a link to your portfolio. So basically, just you're short, keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it clear, and remember, one well-crafted message, is much better than multiple messages and coming across as a bit obnoxious, because remember, the recruiter has a pile of messages that they have to respond to every day. So they probably will be overlooking these incomplete messages. Honestly, on a daily basis, I receive at least 5 messages from people starting with just, "Hey, Ljubica," or people just sending me CV, no context or anything, and I'm I don't have the time for this. So yeah, this could be useful. But in a nutshell, keep it professional, keep it short, keep it sweet, and always be polite. Politeness takes really goes a long way. Okay, but now speaking to the people that went into the interview and never heard back. Again, I understand that it might be really frustrating, to sit around and to wait patiently for a response from a recruiter, after the interview, and again, you might feel, ignored or ghosted, but again, it's important to understand that there also are many potential reasons as to why the recruiter still hasn't gotten back to you. So, one possible recruiter, so one possible reason might be that, well, that's from the outside, that they are, still waiting to hear feedback, from their employers. So after the interview, it is up to the recruiter to gather all that feedback, and actually share it with the hiring managers, and so they would actually be able to assess whether you are a good fit or or not. And and this can take a while. Like the more people are actually included like in the interviewing process, the longer it will take. And another reason for radio silence could be that the recruiter is actually ironing out the details of your offer before they move further. Some recruiters might not give you an immediate answer because they actually want to like negotiate your salaries or negotiate the benefits before they take it one step further. Again, like it can be a time-consuming process, but again, like it's important that they get it right. Also, they might be interviewing, like other candidates, and simply waiting if these other candidates will take the offer. So companies rarely put all of their eggs in one basket, meaning that, like they might extend, for example, they might extend an offer to one person, but are keeping all the others on a bench. And like in case that this person A actually rejects their offer after a week or two of deep thinking whether they should take it, like they can take the offer to the people that are sitting on the bench. So lastly, like recruiters, at the beginning I mentioned like what is it that all of the things that recruiters actually do. So they might be just like busy, they might be having like back-to-back interviews, or they might be having like some internal company stuff, or they might be at a conference with very limited access to email, and like this doesn't mean that they have forgotten about you. It just means that it might take them a bit longer to get back to you. And like lastly, we're human, we make mistakes, and sometimes there is a chance that the recruiter that you have come across as actually unprofessional, maybe like unknowledgeable or still junior. Maybe they are really afraid to challenge the hiring managers, to challenge actually the entire process, and are actually just hoping that enough time passes that you will get a message, on your, that you will actually get the message and that you will like stop bothering them. So not cool people, but still, it happens. Also, if the recruiter said that they would get back to you by a specific date and that date has now passed, again, like it is totally fine, acceptable, and I encourage you to reach out to the recruiter. However, like if they did not give you a time frame, again, like it's wise to wait, like for a couple of days, maybe like a week or 2 weeks before following up. So like same goes with again, like we've already like mentioned, how to reach out to the recruiter. Same goes here. Please, keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it professional, keep it positive. So, and also like additionally, if anything significant, like has changed on your side, while you were, waiting for a response from a recruiter, for example, you got a new job offer, or your decision about relocation has changed, or I don't know, like your visa, your visa requirements are different. Like make sure to mention all of these details, because like these details, really might increase your chances of actually getting this job. And again, like what else can be improved? So I really think it's important to take time to reflect after every interview. Like what went well, what went wrong, and as it will actually help your chances of getting better in the next interview. So again, like here's like a really short Sorry. So here's a really short user manual. I'm really struggling with my R's this morning. Apologies. So what is it that you can do to be better in an interview? So it's really advisable to begin to begin with, actually reviewing the job description before the interview. So like, even though you may have like an idea of what this role involves, like review review the job description, as it can help you adequately prepare for the job, and actually help you develop talking points, and that will help you convince this interviewer that you actually possess, the skills and experiences that they are looking for. Again, like research the company, research the company, because like a lot of like hiring managers really like to hear like some like fun facts, or like to hear that you actually like have done that like in the interview, as it like shows them that you are like interested in the job, interested in the company, and like who doesn't like to hear that? Who doesn't like to hear that? And also reacquaint yourself actually also like with your with your resume, especially like if you have like a lengthy work history, or like you have had like many responsibilities in your previous position, because like geez, I'm really struggling with my R's. It's really funny. I see my team laughing at me. So yeah, thanks for the support, guys. So yeah, like it's really important that you actually remind yourself like of all the key achievements that you have, that you have said, that you have had, and actually like to mention them to the recruiter when you are answering, the interview questions. You like take a pause, think about it. Think about this answer before responding. Because you want to give like a genuine and really like an accurate answer. Now, I always say, like, be honest in an interview, but maybe, you don't have to be like too honest, meaning that, like, try to keep, when you're talking about your former experiences or former employers, like, keep it positive, like, no need to focus, on the bad stuff. But, like, be honest about, what you have done, what you are, like capable for, because, if you're, being truthful, it definitely will be, like easier to converse with the interviewer. And lastly, I think it's really, really, useful to actually practice these like top, top questions that you get in the interview, whether with a friend or a mentor or I don't know, like an AI, simply to develop some confidence before the interview. Also, like even if in the event of that you do not get the job, don't let your relationship with the recruiter fizzle out, because they really can be a really good friend in need, when you're looking for a new job, or they might, just like have like some new or better opportunities for you waiting in the future. So yeah, like keep the lines of communication like open and flexible. And finally, like if you really want to stay on the recruiter's radar, set yourself a reminder, like to reach out in a month or in 3 months or 6 months, because, like by doing so, you will be demonstrating, first of all, like your ongoing interest in the company, and also, like you might get like a better chance of being considered, for the new roles that are coming up. And now back to us recruiters. So maintaining a positive image, is vital for business. So a company with a reputation of not responding to job applications, can discourage potentially, skilled candidates from reaching out. In contrast, a company that is, receptive and prompt in their communication really increases the possibility of getting hearing back from these more talented candidates. And additionally, when companies provide a good, a good application experience and prompt feedback from recruiters, it will leave the candidate with, with positive thoughts, even after even if they don't get the job. So what can, recruiters actually do to ensure a more positive candidate experience? Brief manual again. So firstly, I really think it's, I think that you should, have like a really clear message, either on your website or have these automated emails that are sent to candidates once they apply. This message should thank the candidate for their application. Let them know that they have that you have received their application, and also you can let them know that the company will only answer to those who will who are chosen to chosen for further interviews. This is a fairly small thing, but can make a huge difference in the candidate experience, because candidates who know that they may not hear back from the company can move on and actually focus on on other opportunities, and you actually will be saving them a lot of stress and frustration of waiting for an answer that may never come. Secondly, transparency is crucial for the recruitment process. So guiding the candidate through the process, through every and setting through every step of the process, and actually setting expectations means that again, candidates are less likely to become frustrated or anxious about what comes next. And this transparency is actually what fosters the trust between the recruiter and the candidate, and actually helps them build better relationships. Thirdly, if you have somebody who you have had an interview with, please, I think it's a must that you share feedback with them. Because if candidates do not make it to the next step, feedback can really go a long way when it comes to easing this disappointment of not being selected. And even if the feedback is negative, I think that we can all agree that we appreciate hearing negative feedback more than not hearing anything at all. Also, it can be really easy to make to let messages pile up, which leads you to feeling overwhelmed, and actually setting aside every day or once per week to answer these all of your emails and all of your messages turns communication into a priority. So for example, I have a colleague on my team who sets aside a couple of hours every Friday, and there's no I don't know, comets could be falling from the sky, but, on Friday, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., he's at his computer, and, sharing feedback with the candidates. Even if he doesn't have any feedback, even if he hasn't received any news, he will still, tell the candidate, hey, I don't have anything for you, I don't have anything new to share, but, I'm pushing, I'm waiting, again, it's always better to share something than nothing. And lastly, I think that this especially goes for junior recruiters. I think it's really important to accept the reality of our job. We aren't just throwing jobs at people and making everybody happy and enabling them with these new awesome opportunities. Often we have to be the bad guys. It is actually up to us to deliver really bad news. And please remember, you are working. These candidates are people. So if you don't get back to them they might feel undervalued, frustrated. So please make a priority of yours to actually like humanize this process and use genuine empathy when delivering these the news that actually the candidates might perceive as bad. Also, I think it's really important to be aware of the bottlenecks in your recruitment process, and to keep pushing the hiring managers, the other members of on your team to do better. So prepare yourself with with market data, prepare yourself with like data reports about your process, and map out like at what point do these candidates decide to leave the process, and simply just like I think it's it really is your job to make sure that this process runs
In
smoothly. In conclusion, like transparency, clear communication, and like giving feedback are crucial characteristics of of good recruiters. And I really think that by following these like really easy tips, like you will be able to attract better candidates, build more resilient relationships, and actually create a better experience for everybody involved in the process. Lastly, like a message to everyone here who is looking for a job. Finding a job that that you love and are actually passionate about can be a daunting task. Job searches can sometimes take a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of effort, but still I often encounter people who choose to go through requirement processes like one by one, losing really lots of time and opportunities in the meantime. So I think it's really important to have in mind that the job markets are changing rapidly and unexpectedly. We have all witnessed that in the past 6 months. So I think it's essential to keep to keep this momentum in your search and continuously explore new opportunities and explore new opportunities simultaneously, because every email, every phone call, every interview can be a stepping stone to your next career opportunity. Also, every email, every phone, every interview can actually provide you with valuable feedback that will actually help you improve this this art of communicating and this art of interviewing. So as you actually continue to apply and interview for various jobs, you will become more comfortable with the process itself, again, which will only help you do better, which only help you do better. Also, I think that you should, keep looking for a job until you have a signed offer in your hand. So even if somebody verbally says we want to hire you, don't stop looking. Don't stop interviewing with other companies or negotiating the deals and rates with other companies, because even if you may have been verbally offered a job, circumstances that are out of your control or that are out of the employer's control may arise, and and those circumstances might force the employers to pull the offer from you. So the funding may disappear, the company might reorganize, or some unforeseen things can happen, and without this signed job offer, you might find yourself without a job. I mean, you can find yourself without a job with a signed offer as well, but still this decreases those chances. Lastly, again, I am aware that an extended job search can again, be very frustrating and lead to self-doubt, but, remember to assume good intent and don't let negative thoughts actually affect you or discourage you. Instead, use these setbacks to improve yourself. So take the time to evaluate your job strategy, your search. Let me remind that. So yeah, take the time actually to evaluate your job search strategy and reassess your skills, reassess your experiences that you actually can offer to your potential employer. So embrace where you are in the job search process and use it as a starting point for future growth. So 3 things, build on your experiences, identify your strengths, and learn from each setback, and I'm sure that recruiters will actually start answering your emails. So thanks a lot for listening. I am really curious to hear your questions if you, of course, have any. Okay.
Let me do it.
Okay, I'll stay put.
Okay, thank you for the wonderful presentation. Do you have tips for people from the other industries? For example, if you're in the VFX or movie industry and you want to work in a game dev, and you have experience, you have skills, but it's hard to fit in the role, and probably there are a lot of roles which you can fit, but you don't know where.
This is something that thanks for breaking the ice with the questions. This is something that we encounter very, very often. But again, moving back to this, being more strategic about your about your job search. So first of all, I would, maybe try to focus on companies that are, maybe a bit smaller or more flexible about the person's experience. So it's really, changing industries is hard, is really hard, no matter, how close, they might be. Again, I would focus on companies that are more flexible about your experience. So most probably, a AAA company will insist on you, really having, this game dev experience. But maybe company, an indie company, you're working on a project that is maybe a tiny bit smaller. They could be open to have somebody on the team and actually to take some time. They can actually afford to take the time and effort to onboard the person properly. And also, being a VFX artist, your portfolio, of course, helps a lot. And I know that it is really hard to continue, so you've done your, regular 9 to 5, and then from 5 you have to work on your personal portfolio. But still, I think, that, taking some time aside, to work on a really a game-related project using a game engine. It doesn't matter that it's, a project you have done in your spare time. I think that it can really greatly help you in this process. That it will greatly differentiate you from from other candidates that will, I don't know, probably just show advertisements or motion motion design. So I would say just make play around with with game engines and try to make some I would say in-game stuff that you can show to the show to the employer to showcase your skills. It's hard, but it's not impossible. I really hope that I answered your question. We can discuss it also later if you prefer. Anybody else?
So hi, thanks for the presentation. And I have a question about soft and hard skills, which are more important in the recruitment process. Is there any definition of that, or
I don't know.
something?
You know, like the older I get,
Can you show soft skills in
I mean, yeah,
interview?
you can, of course that you can, you know, like show soft skills, and therefore, like, I think it's like really important to go back to you know, to researching the company and actually learning about, you know, like what is it that they value. And like, so, for example, like if a company, you know, if they're, you know, like, if their, you know, like vision is, you know, like working as a team, or, you know, if they keep emphasizing these, you know, this, you know, like, yeah, being a part of the team, being reliable, etc., etc. Well, yes, they probably will be, you know, like looking for, you know, they probably, you know, like won't be, you know, like happy hiring somebody who is, you know, like, you know, who is like really highly individual, you know, and, you know, like, and, you know, an island for themselves. So I think it, you know, like really comes to maybe, yeah, again, like being, you know, really truthful to yourself. And, you know, just like finding the company that can actually accommodate, you know, accommodate your, you know, your soft skills. You know, like not every company is insisting on being a great team player, you know, so, but again, like, it is, you know, perfectly fine, like to, you know, to do some courses, or maybe, you know, do a bit of, you know, like work on yourself, you know, at least like at least like in the interview process, or in the first like 6 months, to appear as the person that they actually would really like to have on their team.
But still, is there any difference between soft and hard skill? I mean, like, which is more important for the recruiter?
It really, it really depends on the company. But, you know, like what I really depends on the company, you know, and what it, you know, and what they value, you know, like, and actually how many of, like, you know, how strong is their culture, how, you know, how much they insist on it, you know, like, you know, nowadays we have remote companies with employers that don't ever see each other, or, you know, talk to each other besides, like, work tasks. So probably soft skills are not important there. But, you know, like, still, I believe what is important is not to be, you know, just like to be like a decent human being. You know, like not everybody needs to like you. You don't have to be the funniest person in the room, but yeah, like don't be rude. I think that's the most important thing. Anybody else? The lady who got ghosted after an interview.
Yeah, yeah, you remembered. Yeah, I've got a question, because you said you are recruiting also game designers. So what about the portfolio for game designers? Because now I'm struggling with making my own, and I don't know where to start.
Okay, cool. That's a good question. Yeah, being a game designer, yeah, you definitely a portfolio helps. So usually, you know, like what I get, or what I actually encourage, you know, like people without portfolios to make, as, you know, of course, again, like it depends on, you know, like what branch of game design you know you are focused on. But still, you know, like have like a document in which you would, you know, like list the games that you have worked on. You know, like link them if they are already published. You know, make sure to include like a short description of the game. You know, like, you know, what's the platform, what's the genre, you know, what engine was it developed with, what like tools you have used, and, you know, like most importantly, make sure to describe in detail what you have done on a game. So if you were doing, I don't know, like narrative design, like please, you know, like you know, you can like include, you know, like some documents for that. If you were working on systems or, you know, balance design, please include, you know, show me the Excel spreadsheets that you are using. If you have, you know, like worked on level design, you know, like please, like, you know, I think it's like really cool, like to tell me, you know, like, okay, like it took me this amount of time to create this level, or I'm capable of creating, I don't know, like 5 levels per day. And also like make sure like it's really nice to include, you know, like some screenshots of the level design that you have made. So, you know, just like try to, I would say, like, and also like if you are just starting out, you know, I think it's, you know, like perfectly fine to include, you know, to include like some links to you know, to the personal projects that you have made, links to like game jams as well. And I don't know, like recently I advised one junior to, he approached me with a question like, hey, I'm doing, like narrative design and I have, like some GDD documents, but, like my GDD document is about, just one is about like 40 to 50 pages long. Like, should I send it to somebody? I was like, no, because nobody's going to read that. And this is a person without any experience. So what I did, like I advised him, okay, so this company actually just like recently, they launched this like new game that they're really proud of. So like, why wouldn't you, take some aspect of the game and actually, like deconstruct it and send them, like instead of your, like cover letter, just like send them like, your analysis of the game, or do some like comment on the game, on the game design. So just like try to show your knowledge on the topic and the way that you are, the way that you actually think.
So this is the time where we have to stop our presentation because the time ran out. Thank you very much for your effort. Thank you very much for your answers to people. And if you need any advice from Ljubica, please meet her in the corridor and talk with her. Right now we have to finish.
Okay,
Thank you very
cool.
much.
Thank you again. Thanks a lot.